Olivia Colman has gone one further, ladies and gentlemen, because in her new show, she had her daughter in the things like Russian dolls. And your mum plays a role. This is The Night Manager, the new series that you guys are in.
In her?
Yeah, in her.
Where were you going?
I don't know. I went somewhere dark. Okay.
You were just nodding, going, OK.
All right. It's a UK thing. All right. I got it.
But they wrote the bump in.
Yeah, when I first went to meet the director, and I just found out I was pregnant, and I thought, I can't lie, because it's going to become obvious. And so I said I was pregnant, and Susanna went, oh, OK. So she said, I must talk to the producers, and so this is my impression of Susanna.
Yes.
It's lucky she's not here, because then I can tell you it's really good.
OK.
It is. It's absolutely spot on. Yeah.
And I was going, and if you remember Fargo, Frances McDormand was pregnant, and it really added to it. I think it would help, sort of, fingers crossed. And they went away and came back and said, yeah, OK, we can do pregnant, yeah. Yeah, we'll write it in, so...
And it was good, because you didn't have to carry a bag in front of yourself or baggy coats.
I got so big, there would have been no hiding it. And also I was waddling quite a lot. And Susanna once said, could you walk less pregnant? My pelvis is like that.
So this is The Night Manager, coming out on BBC One next month.
See that? I look like someone... I've snuck into the back of shot. It's like a model shoot. Spherical being.
It's like when they left the paper cups on the mantelpiece in Downton.
She looked like she's back there fixing his suit. Like a wardrobe person, like.
Exactly. I wouldn't have noticed it if she didn't say it, but when she said it, I was like, it kind of does look like
Daisy, you get to use your lovely English voice.
I do.
Throughout.
I do.
John, not so much.
No. I have an American accent in it.
Do it. He's so good.
No, it's incredible. Your accent is so good.
Amazing.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I tried it in the British, but it didn't work out. I'm a stormtrooper. I'm an air saviour. Didn't work out.
Did you do it on stage?
Yes. And JJ was just like, John, I don't think it's right. It's not right. So let's go with American.
But what if you hadn't been able to do American?
Then I would have been pissed.
This is based on your life. I mean, this is things...
Yeah, but, I mean... loosely, Graham.
No, but things like, isn't the washing machine, that happened to you.
What?
The washing, you were very hungover.
Oh. Yeah.
Tell Jodie Foster that story.
All their stories are really cool, though, Graham. When I was teaching, which is what this show is based on, I went home one weekend, and I was in my 30s. I was probably 33 years of age. I went home to see my mother, and then I went back, and while I was at home, my mother did my washing for me, because I was only 33. And then I went back, and on the Sunday night, I got really drunk, and then I went for a curry, and then the next day I went into school. I went into school, and it was a school in Slough, and it was quite a rough school, but they had a really brilliant hearing-impaired department, so there were hearing-impaired kids who, struggled. They were really looked after in the school. Anyway, I was really hungover. I went there, and about break time, I felt really uncomfortable. I thought, something's not right, you know? So I went to the toilet, and I pulled my trousers down, and some of my mother's knickers had got mixed up in the wash she'd done, and I was wearing my mother's underwear. And I went, oh, God, no. Oh, I remember going, oh, you loser, this is such a low point, you fucking loser. And then the curry and the booze kicked in from the night before. So I did like a fecal Jackson Pollock. And I started going, oh, God, not this as well. Oh, Jesus. So I cleaned myself up and I pulled my mother's pants back up. And I went back into the classroom and I saw one of the hearing-impaired kids just looking at me like this. And that's when I remembered that I had a microphone directly... Here we go. So maybe man down isn't that far-fetched.
Pick up on is what's happened to facts. That facts aren't what they once were.
Yeah. Facts. I thought you were talking about the defunct way of sending messages.
No.
What's happened to that? Well, I'll tell you what's happened to that, the internet. It's the least of its victims. Yes, well, that's the thing. The internet has happened to both forms of fact, both faxes and facts. The internet has seen to.
Yes.
Because now, essentially, you can't tell truth from lies. They both look perfectly nicely typeset. They're both on websites. Loads of people endlessly saying how mainstream media is all lies. But it's not all lies, is it? I mean, in fact, there's a lot more recourse if there is a specific lie in mainstream media than there is on a random website that someone's just put up there. But people are going around saying, no, mainstream media is all lies. And that is bullshit. And the fact that people think that is extremely worrying. But it's one of the other terrible effects of the internet, that the truth, you know, it is out there, but it may never again be discerned.
But also, would you seem to be going backwards? Like, you talk in the book about how we now have to listen to people saying the Earth is flat.
Yeah. Yes, that's one of the pieces in there is about the new Flat Earth International Conference. It isn't a conference from the 14th century. This is a conference that started, I think, in 2017. And it is a growing thing, and that's because people are so contrarian, people are so willing to believe unsubstantiated things that have websites, that they are now going back on the conclusion we have all rightly drawn about the shape of the planet we live on. And that people are sort of going, and by people I mean idiots, are saying, I'm a questioning person, so why am I going to go along with this idea that the world is round? Well, I'll tell you why, because people went up in a rocket, looked out of the window and took a bloody photo.
Well, do you understand anything
Not
Kevin
much.
said? No, not at all.
I got something about balls at the end. Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said balls. Yeah, he did say balls. No, can you seriously not understand?
Not very much. I was going to kind of question him as he was going along, but...
I actually tried a show in America. I done one gig. A guy complimented me, approached me after the set, and he goes, man, are you actually Scottish? And I said, yes. And he goes, F***, man, your English is pretty good.
Chastain, do you follow the soccer? It was an outside chance. Do you follow
Not really.
No?
No, and I know you guys call it football here.
We do.
I know that much.
Well, that's a good start. That is a good
Really?
start. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know who David Beckham is?
Yes, because of his underwear ads.
Okay. I think you found the level of our crowd. I'm going to move this out of shot because we can't really see you behind it. So I'll just put that down. Oh, put that down there safely. No. Back off. No, seriously, we've been abseiling in to protect it. Now, the FA Cup, for the uninitiated, hello, what makes it such a kind of special thing?
Well, certainly for my generation, and perhaps a bit younger, nowadays there's lots of football on TV. There's games all the time. But when we grew up, when we grew up, the only game you'd ever really see was the FA Cup final in particular. You get Match of the Day that's been going forever, but the actual live games, the FA Cup final, you wake up Saturday morning, Graham, wouldn't you, and watch all the build-up, and it's every young lad that likes football.
And there are some.
And there are some, quite a few, sort of dreamt about playing the FA Cup final, being part of it. And I think that's what it is. It's a really traditional event that was known right throughout the world. There are other, there are other circuses in town.
But also it does this thing of because what it does is, this is the only thing I do know about it, is that it throws up these weird things where tiny clubs will suddenly be with a major club, sort of David and Goliath.
That's right. The wonderful thing about the competition is everyone can enter, all the small teams, and it starts in something like August, and then gradually they go through tiny clubs, then you can meet a decent non-league side, then you can play against a professional club, and if you get all the way through to the third round, you could conceivably draw one of the giant teams, sort of the Uniteds, the Liverpools, etc., etc.
And at Match of the Day, obviously, it's going on right the way through now because it's got these FA Cup specials.
I can't believe I've just had to explain what the FA Cup does.
Did you know? You didn't know, did you? You've no idea. You've no idea.
I went into a hotel and somebody came out and said, "Oh, do you need help with your bags?" And I thought they were doing a bit. So I went, "Oh, I've been traveling all day, I have no idea." And then they kept talking like that. So I had to like slowly transition out of it. And I know that sounds like an exaggeration of their voice, but then I was back in the country several years later and they were on TV on Gogglebox because it was Steph and Dom from Gogglebox.
Isn't that
amazing? So they actually talk like that.
That is hilarious. I never knew that was a real hotel bed and breakfast thing.
Yeah.
You stayed there.
I stayed there.
Yeah.
And accidentally made fun of them to their face.
Have I seen pictures of you at football matches?
No.
Have you been to a cricket match?
No.
No. It's a very long game. Yeah. It takes days.
Is it
Violent,
possible
right?
to explain to Americans that you can have an international match where England are playing India or Australia, and it goes on for 5 days, and after the end of the 5th day, it can still be a draw?
I know what cricket is. I know it's like relatively violent and. You know what I'm saying? Like there was this episode of Friends where Ross is dating an English girl and her mates.
This happened.
Her mates get into a cricket match and he tries to play and he just like breaks all the bones in his body. It's wild.
I think wasn't that rugby?
Cricket or rugby?
Wasn't that rugby?
That was rugby.
Do you know what cricket is? Cricket? It's like
Isn't that the one with the things on the floor and you put them with the balls?
No, that's croquet. We don't have an international croquet star.
Right. I don't know.
We could have.
You cancelled.
No. Cricket. It's like because in Jenny on the Block, you're playing. Now, what's that? Is that baseball?
That was
softball?
stickball.
Stickball. That's a bit like cricket, isn't it?
It's hard to
It's not like baseball.
It's probably the closest sport in America is baseball, but cricket, it lasts 5 days. We break every now and then for food, and we spend a lot of time rubbing our balls on our trousers.
He's not even joking.
Why do you say it's like baseball, though? I've never seen a cricket match, so I don't know.
I think just because there's a ball and you try and hit it, I think that's the only
got it.
With a
reason why I would
stick.
say.
You hit it with a stick.
And you run bases as well?
You run in between wickets on a pitch. In between the
And you go
popping
back and
piece.
forth?
Yeah.
Like basketball?
Yeah, and there's...
Yeah, it's like a cross between the two. Jessica Chastain.
When you go with all your jokes, you hope that there's different references that they won't get, and some things are very British-centric. And I didn't know that if they knew. I have a joke about. It involves the words hanky panky.
What is it?
I can't do the whole joke.
Why not?
Because it's on my new TV show.
I'm doing one of our songs from our album.
Oh, OK. Yeah. OK.
I like the fact that you checked with me whether Hanky Panky was all right. That was really nice.
I was just being respectful.
you looked at me and said, it's because the word Hanky Panky. As though I might be offended by it.
But what if the joke isn't funny on the joke? Do you want me to do the joke? It's just a silly joke. It's a joke about words that come with another word. So there's like chit-chat or chat. So what's the difference between chat and chit-chat? Why? People say, do you want to have a chat? Or we just had a chat. We had a bit of chit-chat, but it's pretty much the same thing. The difference, of course, is chit. But people never have a chit. They never go, would you like a chit? No, I don't have time for a chat. Could we have a little chit? Or we could probably have a chit-chat. So I gathered all these words up, like willy-nilly, nitty-gritty. You get to the nitty, you do sometimes get to the gritty, not the nitty. Hurly-burly, dilly-dally, wishy-washy, argy-bargy, fuddy-duddy, and hodgepodge. My favourite is Hanky Panky, because, everybody hopes. I can only speak as a man, but men tend to hope for Hanky Panky on a daily basis. But often we must make do with hanky. That's pretty much the joke. Sometimes we get to the end of the day, and it looks like Panky's on the cards. And you think, I didn't think Panky was happening today. And we're like, I'm not sure I can do Panky because I went Hanky early doors. But if you can refrain from Hanky, there's a good chance of Rampy Pumpy. I didn't know whether they had the phrase Hanky Panky in Australia. So I said to my tour manager, who is the sweetest, smallest Maltese man. He's a tiny, sweet...
Malteser.
With a bald head, so like you've eaten the top off. And I said, his name's Grazia. I said, Graz, can you go and find out if they know the phrase Hanky Panky here? Because I don't want to do this joke and everyone just stares at me. So he went over to the largest Australian security man I've ever seen. He was just standing like that. And he just went, excuse me, are you familiar with the phrase Hanky Panky? And he was just like, you better get away from me, sir.
I think that, yeah.
That's a great joke. And were they familiar with it?
Yes, it went very well.
Tell me about the fact. Okay, it's not funny, but I'm interested in what your opinion is because you can be underwhelmed, you can be overwhelmed,
right?
But you're never just
whelmed,
are you?
We spoke about this 2 days. Not you and me. I spoke about this this 2 days ago.
Whelmed. You're right. Like you can be dishevelled but never
whelmed?
shevelled.
Or ruthless, but not. You never say, God, he's got a lot of ruth.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a good point.
Good point.
Wow. I feel like
there are other words that always go with, like torrential will always go with rain.
Yes.
People tend not to say... My favourite is akimbo. You can only have legs. Can you have arms akimbo?
Akimbo,
I
for
thought it was
sure.
just legs
No,
akimbo.
I think that...
Have you seen her dance?
You're right, the whelmed. This is a good thought.
If I ever went solo, that would be my name.
Whelmed.
No legs akimbo.
Please welcome Whelmed. How did it go? You worked with Jessica a lot. Have you taught her any Scottish phrases or...?
I don't think I've taught her too much, but I remember sitting here on this couch a wee while ago with... I was about to say Dame Meryl Streep, but she's not a dame.
No, she should be, you're right.
She's American.
Yeah.
An American dame called Meryl Streep. And I tried a Scottish phrase on her to see if she could understand what I was saying, so I'll try it on you.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right. This place is pure hoaching me ball bags.
It's hoaching your ball bags?
This place is pure hoaching me ball bags.
This place is pure hoaching me ball bags.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
It means that this place is making your balls feel...
It's good, it's good.
protected.
Kind of.
Like in a bank.
This place is full of idiots, or idiots.
That's not very nice to say.
Yeah, you said it to Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Sure. Jamie Cameron, can you understand all of this in terms of the East End vibe?
Yeah, it's fucked up. Complicated, man.
It's like Celebrity Gogglebox.
No,
it's like, I'm just watching EastEnders.
It's the most surreal panel in the world.
But now, we just thought, could our American stars, you know, do a Cockney accent? Yeah. So these are Cockney expressions, East End expressions, but written phonetically, OK? So you'll get it as we go along. So, Jamie, if you want to read... They're on the screen.
I'm ready.
So if you read this phonetically, you should sound like an EastEnder. If you get them, they're good. OK. This is very good, Jamie.
This is
try this one. Try this one, Jamie.
Is there any Cockneys in the house? There's got to be, we've got that.
Yeah,
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yeah, you could. So, but try...
Just say that,
Quarter pounder.
There you go, see?
Quarter pounder.
Quarter pounder.
Quarter pounder.
With cheese?
Quarter pounder with fries. That's what we've done it with, you know what I mean?
Quarter pounder with... OK.
Quarter pounder?
Quarter pounder with... Quarter pounder with fries.
It's like you live in the East End. It's like you're in Walford. OK, this is another good one. This is another good one. Try this one, Cameron.
How much is it?
It's about £10.50.
How much is it?
Yeah, how much is it?
How much is it? How much is it? Basically, that's the same thing we say in Long Beach. How much is it?
And one last one for Usher. What have you got for Usher?
It's a cockle. That's how much it is.
Oh, this... Try that.
You got that. She's all over it. She's all over it. He's all over it. Go on.
Gentlemen.
That wasn't bad. Do it one more time.
Gentlemen.
Do you know what I mean?
Gentlemen.
Yeah! Very good. Very good. Emma, very at home with animals. Now, in Scotland, do you own sheep?
Yes.
And you commune with the sheep?
I think that's putting it too strongly. I walked through the sheep field.
You've walked amongst the sheep.
Shouting at them, but
Yes.
yeah.
But isn't there a thing with a stream?
Oh.
Yeah.
There usually is.
Yeah. Well, OK, I've never told you this, but...
No, please.
Some time back... So we have at the bottom of the sheep field, there's a pond where I wash, and there's a sauna, a wood-fired sauna, so we go down there and get in the sauna. And in the summer, I walk to and from with nothing on, much like the sheep.
Yeah.
They're appalled, obviously, just appalled. Just, oh, God. One night, it was a hot summer, there was a kind of real thundering on the door of our place, and it's miles away from anywhere. So I thought, oh, God, OK, the man in the mask has come to take us away. And I was there on my own with my little daughter, who was little then, in little nighty, and we went downstairs and opened the door. There was a massive and very good-looking policeman outside who said, I'm so sorry to interrupt your evening, Mrs Thompson, but we've had reports of an intruder on your land. And your field. And I said, really? Oh, God, when? When was this? Well, it was sometime this afternoon. A woman was walking her dog and she saw a 52-year-old man coming naked up through the sheep field. At which point I thought, OK, something has happened, or my boobs have dropped so low that from a distance they read as testicles. I was so embarrassed with this because this policeman was so lovely and so good-looking. I nearly whipped up. I was saying, honestly, it's not that bad. I think it was probably me. And he left pronto, but that's what happened at the sheep field.
But now, did you guys all chat backstage?
Of course. We did.
And now, were you OK with Jodie's accent?
I love the accent.
But could you understand it?
Yeah, can you understand it?
No, I didn't understand. I didn't understand one word that we said.
You laughed 3 times.
Yeah. Well, that's a sign of discomfort.
Because Jodie Whittaker went to America, and Jodie was on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And you had a lovely time, chatted away. Stephen asked you the question, you answered them. The person who does the subtitles, I feel, wasn't really following the show. This is what they wrote. I'm from... No, there's nowhere called Huddersfield.
It's a real place.
Where are you from?
Huddersfield. Huddersfield.
Beautiful.
I know.
Oh, someone went to drama school.
Classically trained.
You really were a blue coat, weren't you?
I was a blue coat, yeah, at the place you showed, which was next door to Heysham Nuclear Power Station. I got sent there because I worked at a really good one in Yarmouth, Great Yarmouth, got sacked, which is another story, and then was sacked and was sent to... We'll move on to that in a minute. But,
sent to this one?
Sent to that one as a sort of punishment. It was like you're going to Morecambe to do 6 months.
Because you have just...
You've just done something which...
What had you done?
Well, something that was considered cheeky in the 70s, but now is illegal.
Oh, what?
It wasn't. It was actually an incident where it was my first attempt at stand-up comedy. And what happened was I'd always wanted to do stand-up comedy. I didn't have the guts to do it. I got very drunk. I had a go at doing it as a blue coat. My mate said to me, just copy all the other comedians at Pontins and steal their jokes and basically talk to the front row. So you're supposed to say, where are you from? They say Scotland. You say, who paid for your holiday? Where are you from? Wales. You make a noise like a sheep. Rubbish jokes, right? But I said, that's terrible. He said, don't worry, you're just padding. What you're doing is you're looking for comedy gold, which is, where you're from, they say Kent, and you say, what did you call me? Right? Now, at Pontins, this used to take the roof off, right? So I tried it, but I was very drunk. So I go on stage, and I say, where are you from? This bloke says Scotland. I can't remember the joke. I say hello. Then I said to where are you from? The guy says Wales. I black out and I go, hi. I panic. And then I say, anyone in from Kent? And this bloke shouts out, me. And I said, well, you're a So I'm sent to Morton.
Daniel Blewett, what an amazing year you've had. Because this time last year, you know, this was not going to be the year that was coming. This is amazing.
No, I was just chilling out. I was chilling. And then this film came out. I was doing this indie horror, and then, no, it's been life-changing.
Yeah.
A lot's happened.
No, I'm so happy with you. So, Oscar nominated for Best Actor, but also the BAFTAs this weekend. Come on, you've got to get something. You're nominated for Best Actor and Rising Star. That would be too cruel to give you nothing.
I mean, it happened to Craig David with the Brits. Do you remember when Craig David got nominated for 6 Brits and he didn't go with nothing? So if he can go away with he had 6, so there's 2 in it. So I'll be following Craig.
That's a good attitude to have. But Craig David came back.
He came back.
It took about 20 years, but he came back.
So that's the plan. 20 years later, I go, yo, you got to give me something, man.
But you've had some practice now with the big celebrity, because obviously with the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
So who did you meet at the Golden Globes?
How long you got, man? It's just so many.
Did you meet these guys at the Golden Globes?
No. I met her before at these awards, Governors Awards, and she was really cool, and we just spoke about stuff. It was really nice. Yeah. And then, but no, I met Oprah.
Good story.
It was he was really nice. She was a nice person. It was cool. That's
I couldn't believe he was English because his accent was so flawless and get out, and I was like, oh my god. And anytime I meet anyone who's English, I'm just immediately like, I love London. I miss it. Do you live there?
Oh,
yeah.
So you talk about London. Yeah, yeah.
We talk about London.
We should talk about London. And then, no, I met. That's what happened, yeah. I met Denzel. I met Denzel and Oprah at the same time. It was just this segue. It was just this I don't know, African American excellent segue or black I don't know what happened. It's like Denzel came up to me and was like, he came to me in English accent. He was like, yeah, mate, yeah, cheers, mate, cheers, mate, cheers, mate. And I'm like, what's happening? How do you know who I am? And he was like, and then he went to his wife like, he thinks I don't know who he is. And then he goes, come meet Oprah. And then I was like, cool, we'll meet Oprah, let's meet O. And then I just, I hugged her. I hugged her so tightly. She felt so good, man. She felt good.
Apparently she smells she has an amazing smell.
She smells amazing, Graham. I swear, Oprah is just premium.
Can the rest of the crowd... you must have all met Oprah. Does she smell amazing?
I've never met Oprah, but when I do, I'm going to hug her for sure.
I smell her at the Golden Globes, but she was too far away.
You got to inhale deeply. Inhale deeply.
And Adele, you've never lost your accent. I mean, because you've been in America for a while now.
Yeah, I've been there for a while now, yeah, for sure. No, I don't know, it's never... No.
And is it true that Angelo, picks you up on the way you say...
He does, but Angelo sounds just like me, by the way.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, so obviously the whole time I've been there, he's been there. And he goes to school with American kids and sounds like me. But yeah, I kind of correct him a lot as well, obviously, but that's not how you say it. But yeah, he does on the word, free, as in, the number 3.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, it's not free, it's 3. he's a little bit more well-spoken than me, probably because of his dad. But, yeah, we've both still got our accents.
And you live there and obviously enjoy living there, but there must be things you miss.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. I mean, we weren't supposed to live there this long or, Before COVID, we used to spend over half our time here. And
Oh, right, OK.
But then, obviously, you know, I got locked out of the country with, well, if I came back here, I wouldn't have been able to get back there, basically.
Yeah.
So I was stuck there for most of COVID. But, yeah, I mean, I miss, like, I miss British humour. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Our humour is just doesn't always travel. So I find myself having to like explain my jokes. It ain't that much fun. Yeah, I miss the humour. I miss my family. I miss a lot of like my condiments. And I love a sauce. Like I love a sauce.
Marmite.
Well, Marmite's not quite my vibe, but like salad cream and Branston's pickle and stuff like that. And but I found a store there that does it all.
Oh, OK.
Yeah, I did.
She's in. She's in.
I'm in. Yeah.